Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. As we are fresh off of our Disneyland trip to California, I thought it was a perfect time to dive into the Disney Vault once again to look at some childhood memorabilia from my time when I visited the parks when I was little. Just like my previous video of Disney World, I've got a couple of tickets and maps that I looked through and also some photos. And the bonus thing for this video is I do have some Universal memorabilia as well. Let's kick things off. And the best way to kick things off is with park tickets. So we all know that today's tickets are all mobile. Back in the day, we had paper tickets. So this is a Flex signature passport that allowed you to visit for 5 days. So you see there that they actually stamped the tickets back in the day on the day that you arrived. We also had the main man himself, Mickey Mouse, on there. A bit faded now, but still nice to have that. And I believe the first time you use this, you get given a Flex passport information, which gives you the days that you can come, and opening hours and things like that. Now that we're in the park, we're going to need a map to help us get around. This was a map from October 1998. You can see we got Mickey on the orbiter there. When you open that up, you've got guest services and information. So this has things like saying that American Express is the official card of Disneyland. Information about baby centers, check cashing, credit cards, Disney dollars, we'll be back for that. Disneyland passports. Each passport provides unlimited use of all attractions except arcades. Young children should be accompanied by an adult to leave Disneyland and return the same day during regular operating hours, either via the main entrance or the monorail station at the Disneyland Hotel. A valid Disneyland passport and hand stamp, I don't know when these to stamp your hands when you left, required for readmission. You may also re-enter the parking lot on the same day free of charge if you retain your parking receipt and present it at a guest parking entrance. Foreign currency may be presented for most purchases at a Disneyland resort for the current exchange rate. It may also be exchanged for US currency or Disney dollars at City Hall, the Bank of Main Street, and the Starcade of Tomorrowland. That's cool that they took foreign currency. Kennel Club, hosted by Fiskies. Board your pets for a nominal charge in the Disneyland kennel. That's cool. Guided tours, if it's your first time in Disneyland or if you're ready to look at the park in a whole new way, consider taking a guided tour. The Welcome to Disneyland tour is designed to give first-timer visitor basic information to Disneyland and some of its most famous features. The 2-hour A Walk in Walt's Footsteps tour offers a more detailed historical look at Disneyland through the eyes of its founder, Walt Disney. Guided tours depart every morning and tickets are available at City Hall main entrance. Length of tour may vary depending on wait time for attractions. So let's open it up. Wow. Tiny. This is what Disneyland looked like in 1998. So some of these attractions are still there today. So in Fantasyland, you've got Alice in Wonderland, Casey Jr. Circus Train, Dumbo, Autopia, It's a Small World, which was presented by Mattel Toys back then. The Carousel, Mad Tea Party, the Matterhorn Bobsleds, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride, Peter Pan's Flight, Pinocchio's Daring Journey. I don't think that was there, or that's there anymore. Sleeping Beauty Castle, obviously. Snow White's Scary Adventures, we did that, and Storybook Land Canal Boats. So all pretty much the same. In New Orleans, you've got Haunted Mansion, Pirates of the Caribbean, which we only did Pirates because Haunted Mansion was closed. Mickey's Toontown, Chippendale Treehouse, I think that's there. Disneyland Railway Road, yeah. Donald's Boat, Gadget's Go Coaster, Goofy's Bounce House, Dolly Trolley, Mickey's House and Meet Mickey, Minnie's House, Roger Rabbit's Cartoon Spin. In Adventureland, you've got the Tiki Room, Indiana Jones, Jungle Cruise, Swiss Family Treehouse. In Tomorrowland, you've got the Astro Orbiter, Honey, I Shrunk the Audience, Rocket Rods, Space Mountain, Starcade Star Tours, presented by Energizer, Submarine Voyage, which is now Under the Sea with Nemo, and Autopia. There's a Fantasyland Autopia and a Tomorrowland Autopia. Super cool to still have that. Be sure to keep that safe with all the other maps I have. Now, we mentioned Disney dollars, and look what I have. One Disney dollar. So this was currency that you could convert real dollars into Disney dollars. I don't believe there was any benefit of doing so, apart from the fact that it was just currency to use in the parks. We've got the main man himself on the front. The treasurer is Scrooge McDuck. You got Tink there. So it says here, Disney dollars may be used as legal tender only at Disneyland Park, Disneyland Hotel and Walt Disney World Resort, and the Disney Store USA in Puerto Rico. Disney dollars may be spent or collected and served as souvenirs and are redeemable at any time before or after the period of inactivity. And on the back you've got Sleeping Beauty's castle. So really glad that I managed to find one of these. We'll keep one of these as that's a souvenir that they no longer do. So let's move on to pictures. So the first picture, which I'll put right up here, is a picture of me and my sister meeting Chip and getting an autograph. We're in Toontown. The straps that we've got across us are actually bottle straps. So really nifty invention, in my opinion. It's just a kind of like lanyard which has an adjustable loop on the end, which you just put around the neck of the bottle, tighten it up, and you can easily just hang that bottle there. Still have those. I believe we took them on our first trip to Disney World in 2022. Fun fact, that was the first time that I had shaved my head like that. And all the characters, whenever I met them, were going around and doing the whole feel, because it was one of those nice feels you get when you freshly shave your head. Next photo is another character meet, which is with Donald. And this is with both my sisters. And as you're looking at the camera here, apart from Donald, who is too busy signing an autograph book, my sister gave me Disney bounding as Snow White vibes. Next up we have a picture with Jasmine and my sisters. Look at that teethy grin, pre-braces. Not sure that Jasmine wears that kind of outfit again or anymore in the parks. Picture of Toontown. I believe this is kind of where Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway is now. Quite interesting to see how it's kind of changed, but the vibe's still the same. And the last one we got is a meet and greet with Rafiki. This is quite strange because it looks like we're in Tomorrowland, and this looks to be right by where Matt and I had our lunch on our first day in Disneyland. The building at the back is what I believe is the Star Wars area now, where you can meet Darth Vader. Not too sure, but I feel like that's the kind of vibe that I'm getting from the location of this picture. That was a look at the Disneyland memorabilia that I had. Let's just quickly cover the Universal Studios Hollywood memorabilia that I've got. First thing is the park map. Also managed to find a Florida park map as well, and they are exactly the same. So this one says Universal Studios Florida, and this one says Universal Studios Hollywood. So besides that, very similar. When you first open it up, you have a bit of general information. So things about guest services, celebrity annual pass, photo lounge, security first aid, lockers, strollers and wheelchairs. Very similar to what Disneyland has on their first page. On the back, you've got dining and shopping options. Entertainment center, you've got Marvel Mania, studio commissionery, shops. Can't really tell you because I'm not that familiar with Universal Studios Hollywood, unfortunately. But what I did find that was quite interesting is the map. And just seeing how much has changed with the presence of Harry Potter World and Super Nintendo World now. There's still some of the attractions there that were there in 1998, such as Jurassic Park, the Water World show that we saw, the Backlot Studio Tour. Whilst it's changed, it still does highlight some of the pre-existing attractions like Jaws and King Kong. To be honest, I think those are the only two that have withstood time. They had a Nickelodeon kind of show that you could go to, and a funny story about that is we went in, I think it was just my sisters and I. They asked volunteers to take part in one of the games. I put my hand up, I got picked, went down and burst into tears because I was like, I don't want to do this. They managed to get my sister to come down and she did the activity for me, whilst I just stood there feeling very sorry for myself and feeling very ashamed. Fun fact, so I have a couple of pictures that will just quickly show around Universal. First one is the iconic globe. Hasn't changed. Still looks just like it did on our trip as it did in this photo. Got this picture of City Walk, which from a quick glance doesn't look like it's changed at all. It's still really busy looking with different restaurants, entertainment options. But I'm sure if you actually looked at what restaurants were there back in 1998, they'll be completely different to what they are now. But I thought it was pretty cool that the vibe was still pretty much the same. When you enter Universal Studios Hollywood, you go through this like archway, still there, still looks exactly the same, which I love. Thought this was quite a good one to look at as it's the King Kong ride. From my memory, it's very similar to like the backlot tour. You kind of go through on a car and you get tapped by King Kong. There's some element of the 60th anniversary to the backlot tour where they pay tribute to King Kong, which nice little like tying together. Speaking of backlot studio tour, this place I believe is still exactly the same. We stopped here on our tour, had the water gushing down, and it looks like that's what it did in 1998 as well. And the last one here is the escalator area where you go down, where today you would go down to Jurassic Park, The Mummy, Transformers, and most importantly Super Nintendo World. You can just see how it is completely different. All very white building, no colour at all. But today, with the presence of Super Nintendo World, there's nothing but colour everywhere. And that's the end of looking into the California Disneyland and Universal Hollywood Vault. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. I always think it's really great to look back at the parks and see how much they've changed and just kind of reminisce on some of those memories that I built when I was a child. If you did like this video, remember to give it a thumbs up. Drop a comment down below. Did you ever go to the parks in 1998, around that time? Have you been since? Is it crazy to see how much has changed? And finally, be sure to subscribe because you don't want to miss all the exciting things that I've got coming. And believe me, there's lots of exciting things coming. So until next time, see you real soon.